Hello, hello, hello. How's it going? Yeah, this is the stream. I just thought we would do a little bit of a live stream because I've been away for a bit and I thought we'd have a chat. And I've got a cameraman with me, so we can head over here, or we can do all of this stuff. It's great. How's everyone going? Welcome to the chat. Hey, Mark, how you doing? Good to see you. Don't know how many people we've actually got watching. Oh, we got 5 people watching and 7 likes. That's impressive. But yeah, just wanted to do a quick live stream. Yeah, I'm kind of testing out a camera. That's kind of the reason that we're here. So I was sent this for review, which we're using right now, and I've got to be honest, I'm pretty impressed with it so far. This is the OBS Bot. It's the 4K version. The OBS Bot Tiny 4K. And I know this is going to mess around with the audio a little bit. Autumn Rose, how you doing? Peter Holman, how you doing? John Malkin, how you doing? Evan Rogers, thank you for the super chat. Very exciting. Let's see. So this is not the studio display. This is the OBS bot. So the audio I know is going to go a bit weird, but I can get up and I can wander around the room, and it follows me around. And it is a full-on little gimbal thing. It's actually pretty good, isn't it? This is impressive. I'm quite pleased with this. I only unboxed it earlier. I set it up about 20 minutes ago, and away we go. But yeah, it does look like center stage. This is like physical center stage. So yeah, I'm impressed with this thing. I've seen that like Linus Tech Tips has had the previous version. I think they had the 1080p version to have a look at. Can you guys hear me all right? Michael's saying he can't. I'm just hoping that it's his audio switched off. It looks like the sound is leaving me. Whether it's coming out on your side or not, I don't know. Do let me know if there's an issue. How loud is the motor? I haven't heard a peep out of the thing. So I'm assuming that you guys can hear me apart from Michael. So Michael, apologies, but I don't know if I can fix that for you. Because I think everyone else can probably hear me. But yeah, how's things going? Apple has just leaked one of their own new products, which you may or may not have seen already. So we'll have a quick chat about that as well. Who's seen this news just out of interest? I've just noticed it on Apple Insider. So Apple has, it looks like a dual port charger coming out at 35 watts, which is pretty impressive. But I'm just going to pull it up now. Because yeah, it looks like Apple put out a support document for this and then pulled it down rather quickly because they realised that they don't sell it yet. But yeah, it looks like a dual USB-C charging adapter, which sounds quite cool. But yeah, what's up, everyone? How's everything going? I'm just going to actually jump in over here and see what we can do. If I can, because I know there was some iCave Answers stuff that people left earlier, which we will do some answers for now. Studio, let's go and grab those questions for you, but we'll put it into the next show as well. I think that would be good. Zeiss P talked to me at MacBook Air. I'm guessing you're talking about a new one. So yeah, fingers crossed we'll be getting a new MacBook Air later this year. This is the time of year that we should be hopefully expecting to be getting the MacBook Air with M2 inside. I'm just going to turn that light off because that was just weird because it came up to here. That was my monitor top one. But yeah, we should be getting the M2 MacBook Airs hopefully later this year. It looks like the 15-inch model is probably going to be next year, but presumably using the same design language, I would guess. But we will see on that point. Let's have a look what else we've got here. Audio's all good, that's great. Volume went down when I backed up. Yeah, if I moved away from the microphone a little bit, that's to be expected, I think. But I think we're okay. Oh, okay, I see. That makes sense. Actually, read all of the comments, and then you'll actually know what's going on. But yeah, so we've got a bunch of people here. We were talking about so the charger that Apple has just leaked by themselves. Very amusing. But anyone that's just arrived, yeah, we're actually on a webcam that follows me around, and it's not a center stage. This is a full gimbal 4K webcam, which is pretty cool. It's been sent to me to review, and this this live stream will be a part of that, but it works really well with OBS. It's called an OBS bot. I don't know if that's supposed to reference OBS, but either way, I think price-wise it's about $230. For a 4K webcam, that's actually fairly reasonable at the moment, and it does do 1080 at 60 is the other option, and it appears to have compensation for 50 or 60 hertz flicker. A decent amount of good stuff in here. So let's have a quick look over here. Daisy in the Rain, hey, how you doing? Thomas Rabenstein, the new Mac Studio is awesome. I have it a week and I'm in love. Very happy for you. You got the Ultra, I think, as well? Zeiss P, would you say iMac Pro is totally old news? I don't think it's going to be coming back. I said this from way before Apple Silicon even came out, when as soon as they discontinued the iMac Pro, that means it's not being replaced. If they were going to be replacing it with an Apple Pro version, with an Apple Silicon version, then they would have actually kept the existing one around until that was ready. That is almost always the way that they do these things. So I don't think there's any real chance of us getting a new iMac Pro. And the iMac Pro itself was actually just to fill a gap at the time as well. It wasn't even something that they intended, I don't think, to release as a full-time device. It was really in 2017, I want to say, to fill in the gap between the 2013 trash can Mac Pro and the big 2019 Mac Pro that we got in the end, the fully customizable one. It was really to fill that gap while they were working on the 2019 version, as far as we can tell. So yeah, that's why I'm not expecting any new ones. It's an iconic computer. I don't think the iMac Pro is. I think iMac is iconic. I don't think that the Pro version specifically was iconic in any way, really. It was just a darker version, and obviously faster, and it was a great piece of kit, but I don't think it's one of those things that people are going to be like, I remember when we had an iMac Pro. I don't think it's going to happen. I think iMac is now the 24-inch model, and I think that's the only one we're going to get at that size. Not at that size. I think we're only going to get that size in the iMac. That's what I'm trying to say. Because I really don't think that Apple would have bothered to release one and then release the other size later. But there we go. Thomas Rabenstein, I've got the M1 Max, but with 64 gigs of unified memory, so something in the middle of both. Oh, that's pretty cool. John Malkin, hey, welcome. Do you think they would do an M2 summer event in July or August, since WWDC is dev-related? I don't know. WWDC, people always say it's developer-related. Yes, it is, but it's also, Apple knows that everyone watches it. They're not under any illusions that it's purely a developer event anymore. And I can only assume that because they've invited people to Apple Park for it, and I know they've only spoken about students and developers at the moment, but I would almost guarantee that means they will also have some press there. And I think that's because they need to show some sort of hardware in person that you can't really experience from a digital event. For example, AR, VR headset thing. I think that's the most likely thing. And I don't think it's going to be ready to be sold. I think it's going to be a developer transition type kit, like a developer development kit of hardware. But I do think that it's going to be announced. I think the software packages are going to be announced for it, and I think that it's going to be there really so that the developers can start making use of it. I'm just going to bring this camera down a little bit. I think it's a bit too high for me, so bear with me one moment. Let's see how that does. And that's going to be a slightly nicer angle, but let me know if it looks awful. Yeah. So I think that's what we're probably going to be looking at for WWDC. M2 is a possibility. Whether they would do an event after WWDC for it, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm not 100% convinced, if you like. I think if they're going to do it, I think they will just put stuff out at WW. Because I don't think they've ever done like a July or an August event. Because I think they want to have that build up to the new iPhones, but I could be wrong, and they've done a lot of stuff just recently that they don't normally do too. So let's have a look at the other comments we've just got coming in. We will jump back to the iCave answers that we've got in the comments from the previous videos. 2017 is correct. Excellent. That's my iMac Pro thoughts. Let's have a look. So, hi Eugene, hi Stephen, Thomas Rabenstein, WWDC. I do hope we see the first introduction of the framework for the expected VR glasses. Yeah, me too. I think that makes sense. It's a developer event, and I think as such, developer transition kits and developer hardware or whatever can be done with LiDAR on iPhones. Maybe there is just a like a Google Cardboard type thing that they do, where it uses the LiDAR on existing iPhones as a kind of interim piece. I don't know. It's exciting because we actually know basically nothing about what's going on in terms of software this year. And as I said in today's video, it's a case of they don't have to buy anything in to make software. There's no raw material other than coffee, and obviously coffee and pizza are important to making software, but they're not. They don't end up in the final product necessarily. So it does make it difficult to know what's going to be coming. If anyone's got any ideas what we might see in iOS 16 and iPadOS 16. And please don't ask me if it's going to run macOS. I really don't think that's the case. But I think iPadOS 16, there has been a rumour that they might have a mode when you attach it to a keyboard and trackpad enclosure, that it might actually shrink the windows down slightly, go to more of a kind of mouse operation, and maybe even let you move windows around, which would be interesting. It does mean that you've got the smaller touch points on things, but it could be a little bit more macOS style. I think that's quite possible. I'm not going to rule that out at all. But let me know what you guys think on that subject. While you get some messages in, I'm just going to jump over here to the comments that we had from the show earlier today. So, Yuritech asks, iCave answers, maybe this needs to be brought up. What are your thoughts on the YouTube channel called Apple Explained, and is there a valid reason why people should hate him? Why or why not? So if you don't know, Apple Explained is a channel that does a lot of seemingly weird kind of videos about Apple, but like, why does the Apple Pencil need to be charged, and why why they release certain colours of iPhones and things like that. And there's a lot of people asking, like, why does this channel even exist? But I will tell you the reason that it exists, because lots of people like watching those videos. That is all it comes down to, and to be completely honest, the guy's doing a great job. He makes really good videos from the subject matter that he does. It's not designed for the people that would watch a channel like mine, probably. It's more for the kind of casual viewers, casual Apple users, who might want a little bit of context around some stuff that goes on. But yeah, when he's getting those numbers of views, it's because people want to watch it. Like, that's what it comes down to. Like, a YouTube channel won't succeed if people don't enjoy watching the videos. People like watching his videos, therefore he's doing a good job. So yeah, Evan Rogers, I like Apple Explained. It's good for SEO. Yeah, he puts clickable titles there, and you can guarantee that even if people think it's silly, they've clicked on it to find out why this video has been made. Maybe they haven't come away with an answer that they wanted, but I do think that there's room for every kind of channel, and all it comes down to is the audience and do they enjoy watching it. If they enjoy watching it, then it's going to do fine. If the audience doesn't enjoy watching it, then it's just talking to yourself, which I do all the time. Thomas Rabenstein, WWDC, strange we haven't seen a lot of leaks about coming OSs. Yeah, absolutely. We've had that one iPadOS leak. I think last year there were some leaks about potentially getting new icons through iOS that would match up with the Big Sur kind of style. So it's got that little bit more shadow and things to it. But no, nothing massive on there. Mike is a tinge too hot. Hopefully that's fixed it for you, Mark, but thank you very much. I'm not normally this close to it, I guess. Let me know if that's any better. And then Jeff Cora, I'm not going to even attempt your surname. I still want Final Cut and Logic on iPadOS. We all do. We've all been waiting for that. So I'm hoping that, just like the rest of us, that you will get your wish come true. Because I'm very, very excited for getting better video editing software. Do let me know how the mic's sounding now, because yeah, I can't hear it. Yeah, Stephen Huxtable, Prosser and iUpdate did a bad bit on the channel criticising him. Yeah, but at least they then came back the next week and said, look, we realise how that came across. That's not how we intended it. We just thought some of the names were a bit silly and had a laugh. So, at least they acknowledged it. And, obviously, I like John because he came on the show with us. And I think Sam's... The two of those together on any show is just hilarious. They're a great... comedy pairing, so I'm down with it anyway. Yeah. YouTube is the second biggest search engine next to Google. Somebody has a basic Apple related question, Apple Explain video to get a view. Yep, exactly. And we fixed the audio. That's great. Genius Bar podcast is too juvenile. I don't know. It's very mixed bag. They do chat about Apple stuff, and then There's occasionally sometimes when I'm like, they'll have a hot take on something and I'll be like, but that's not what it is. There's definitely some stuff where I'm like, how did you not know that? Like when Luke Miani was talking to Sam, and Sam was surprised that he could electrocute himself on a power supply when it's not plugged in because he didn't know what a capacitor is. And I kind of get it. Why would you need to know what a capacitor is? But it still surprises people that you don't necessarily. So, yeah. On the plus side, I guess, he's not pulling them apart, so it doesn't really matter too much. Yeah, I'm kind of with you there, Evan. But yeah, any other news stories that you guys want me to touch on? Let's grab a couple more of these questions up. We will still put them into a regular show as well. James Apple, will they put M1 on every iPad now and into the future? I don't think it's going to go into everything. I think the base level iPad is probably going to stick with the A13 and then A14 and then A15. The iPad mini is the one that kind of confused me because you think of it as being in line with the Air, but it isn't. And I think the reason that they've put the A15 into that instead of an M1, where we kind of all expected for the Air to be in line with the mini and have an A15, I think it's the battery size. I don't think the battery in the iPad mini could support the the power of the M1 because it's so much physically smaller. So yeah, I think that's probably the reason, James, that we've not got M1 in there. And I do think that even when we get the Pro apps, I think they will run on all the iPads that are current, but there'll be certain features that are kind of M1 iPad exclusive, maybe, in terms of transitions, in terms of some of the 3D text, that kind of thing, because that's all stuff that has happened on the Mac in the past with different processors. I think if you didn't have dedicated GPUs, then you couldn't use the 3D text based on my old 2011 MacBook Air, the 11-inch one. So, what else have we got here? You're wrong about the bigger iMac. That was when we were talking about the bigger iMac probably not coming. Hey Thomas, how you doing? David Stevenson, how you doing? Let's see. Oh, we've got a couple of questions here from Evan, and I always hit those up pretty quickly. Woo for the live stream tonight, and iCave answers, what's the worst English food that you nonetheless enjoy? Worst English food? I mean, Yorkshire puddings are kind of a weird one. It's basically like a pancake, but it rises, and you kind of put your gravy in it on your on your Sunday roast, like on a roast dinner. However, they're also excellent with jam in. That's a very British thing. And iCave answers, do you think we will ever get dedicated ray tracing hardware on Apple Silicon, and if so, when? I think we might get it within the M2 generation. That kind of makes sense to me. I don't know exactly how they're going to do it, and it could be that the Mac Pro gets something along those lines as well. It could well be, because it looks like we're going to be getting... getting potentially our Mac Pro at WWDC, and there's been rumours that it might take regular graphics cards. I don't believe that for a second, because the M1 Ultra... the graphics performance in that is about on par with an 3090, and I know some of the performance tests say it's not, but it also blows it away in other performance tests, and it's very much kind of depends on how the performance benchmark has been optimized, I guess, for for the for the new chips. So we're definitely getting that way. Let's see what else we've got here. Mark Sequence. Sometimes I want my mind numbed, so they make me feel smart. We're talking about Genius Bar. I like the guys. I think they're very likable. Peter Holdman. Anyone seen the performance issues with Motion 5 on M1 Plus systems? I haven't seen any particular issues on it with the base M1. Don't know about anything beyond that, unfortunately. That's why old TV sets were dangerous, because giant capacitors were there to start the cathode ray tube. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, you don't want to be servicing CRTs. They are a bit dangerous. Thomas Rabinstein got a question relative to the unified memory on the M1X SoCs. Do you think the memories are degrading over time, just like SSDs do? I wonder, because my new Mac should work for a few years now. No, so unified memory works in the same way as RAM, and it does not degrade over time in the way that SSDs do. Because it's volatile memory and it's cleared every single time it's switched off. There's no kind of read-write cycles with these, because the memory is only held when they are powered up. So, no, I think you're safe on that one. The Basement. Hoping iPadOS makes some big strides forward at this WWDC. I think we all are. I don't think it's as bad as everyone makes out. I think you can basically do everything you can do on a Mac on the iPad. That's why I started this channel in the first place. This is why we had Living on iPad, and it was purely for me to find the ways to do these things. Now, they are all doable. It doesn't mean that it's the same way that you would do on a Mac, and you do have to bounce between different apps. But you would still bounce between different apps on the Mac, but they would all be on screen at the same time. So it's mildly more annoying. But like, I've been sitting on the exercise bike in the gym, doing an edit, and still doing the on-screen graphics, but just bouncing between 3 different apps, bouncing from LumaFusion, where I'm editing, to Notes to grab the text for the questions, and then into Pixelmator to make the graphic up, and then to Photos to grab it to put it back into LumaFusion. So it's a few extra steps, but it doesn't mean that you can't do it. So that's all good. Let's see, we just had a flurry of messages. Hello, everyone. If you haven't noticed, I'm actually on a webcam right now, and it's one that follows me around. So this is not center stage. This is a gimbal-mounted webcam, which we're testing. So I just wanted to get people's feedback on it. It's this bad boy. And I think it's pretty good. I'm really impressed with this thing so far. So here we go. Unified memory is just like normal RAM, so it doesn't deteriorate any more than normal RAM. From David Stevenson, thank you very much. Michael Moy had Yorkshire pudding for breakfast today. Very nice. Evan Roger, Yorkshire puddings are great. My nan makes it at Christmas. Good. Yorkshire puddings are great. With eggs and bacon for breakfast. Oh, did you go to a Toby Carvery or something? Very nice. Slow Cuba, enjoy John and Sam, depends on my mood and fatigue level. iCaveDave, or always up for one of these. Oh, thank you, Slow Cuba. Nice to see you. Mark Sequence, especially an iCave stream. Yeah, I mean, I love doing these. It's just fun. I get to sit here. We have a chat. We can talk about whatever you fancy. Tim Beaton, 27-inch mini LED screens at WWDC. Someone seems to think so. Is this Mark Gurman? Mark actually retweeted one of my tweets the other day, because we did Bloomberg Bingo with all the stuff that he normally says on the Powered On newsletter, and he said he loved it. I thought it was fun. Yeah. Do we think we'll see it? I mean, we could well do. I think mini LED, yes. ProMotion, maybe. I wish I could say ProMotion on them, but I think it's a difficult thing to do in terms of bandwidth, but I don't think it's impossible to do 120 Hz. So we will see on that side of things. David Stevenson, have you seen a studio display in the flesh, Dave, and what do you think? Yes, I've popped into the Apple Store in Birmingham, and I had a look at it. They've got one with the nano textured screen, which was actually pretty awesome, to be fair, and they've got one of the regular ones. It looks a lot like an iMac display, because it's an iMac display. It's not noticeably brighter in person, but then they don't have the old iMac sitting next to it to check it against. But we're talking 100 nits between 5 and 600. And I think once you're at that kind of level, it's absolutely fine anyway. To be honest. Let's see, what else have we got. Whoa, your camera just peeked down at your watch. That was neat. Oh yeah, it kind of follows your eye line a little bit as well sometimes. And I think you might be able to do like gestures for it to zoom in and stuff, but I can't get that to work yet. Maybe I've got it turned off in the camera. There's still stuff for me to play with. But yeah, it just it does follow well. I think it's not bad at all. And actually, when I got up to walk around, you can see a bit more of the studio as well. But I know you can't hear me so well. And then I can come over here and it should... Oh, it's lost me. I'm over here. Whoop. Around here. Hey. There we go. It's back. I upset it a little bit. So, let's see what else we've got here. I think the quality is as good as your Lumix, which I never liked. Okay. Yeah, I know. I'm not a massive fan of the Lumix. I think I managed to get it better towards the end of things. But yeah, it's not my favourite camera. I think the iPhone is far superior to the Lumix. I think it's kind of on a par with this. This is in HDR mode. I don't think it's too bad in terms of colours and stuff. Yeah, I'm quite pleased. Let's see what else we've got. John Malkin, could the Pro chip become the low-end M2 and then the M2 Max, the M2 Ultra? I can't... No, I don't think that's what it's going to do at all, because we're talking about different SoCs, different cores in these. So no, I don't think there's going to be any recycling of those to just rebrand them, as far as I can tell. But I've been wrong before. Max Powers, great name. Lived on iPad since COVID, basically not because I didn't have a Mac, but because it's more fun. Yeah, I mean, I grab my iPad all the time. It's what I have playing in the kitchen while I'm making breakfast for the kids. It's all that sort of stuff. You know, it's just a very easy thing. It's basically what I do most of my work at work on, because I'm in the restaurant and it's easier to grab that than head down to the office. Mark Sequence, I don't know what Yorkshire pudding is, but you had me at eggs and bacon. That's how I first test any new food. But how does it fare with eggs and bacon? It's the American standard. Yeah, so it's basically like pancake mix, but you put it in the oven, you bake it, and you kind of leave it in there for like 20 minutes, and it rises at the sides, and it makes like this little kind of bowl in the middle, and that's where you put your gravy when you're having your roast dinner. Max Power's basically, the thing is basically dead now, though, battery-wise, and now the FaceTime camera is having issues, so Apple's going to be getting a call. So how old was it? I think my iPad Air is starting to suffer a little bit in terms of battery and stuff. But yeah, I'm hoping that it was just a glitch yesterday. I feel like it had a restart, and it seems to be much better today. David Stevenson, my studio displays arrived this week. Very happy with them. That's good. But yeah, the iMac panels are great. It's just, don't tell me that it's something new when it's just an old iMac panel. Like that's my beef with Apple. There is like, oh look, we've made this, and it's still only slightly cheaper than the iMac that it came out of. Very strange. Let's see. Moon Knight, yay or nay? I haven't got around to watching it yet. My wife and I have started rewatching WandaVision, because she hadn't watched WandaVision, and I want to make sure that she's seen it before Doctor Strange comes out, because I think that's going to be important. Moon Knight, though, also very excited to watch it. We just haven't started yet. Mark Sequence, displays, plural, at Dave Stevenson. Yeah, he's a baller. Michael Moore, my wife cooks Yorkshire pudding a few times a month. It's nice and puffy. Excellent stuff. Yeah, you want it nice and light and fluffy. Really hot oven, dollop of oil in the bottom of the muffin tins, brought up to 10. Add the pancake batter, could cook for 10 to 15 minutes. There you go, Mark. So yeah, dead easy. You can do that. Vicious Dave for Life, how you doing? I thought you were Apple Dave for Life now. You changed your name. Oh, is this because you're unhappy with that studio display? Do tell, Dave. Yeah, let's see what else we've got over here. We've done dedicated ray tracing. I think we've talked about yours, Evan. Thomas Ramenstein, Hawkeye. Yes, Hawkeye was great. Brandon L. I really want a feature like the scale on Windows 10. I love that Windows allows me to set the monitor to high resolution, then scale to make the icons and stuff bigger. Yeah, that already is a thing. That's what Retina mode is, I think. Sander Hoogeland. For me personally, subscriptions for software are fine, but subscriptions for hardware are unacceptable. My devices belong to me and not anyone else, unless you subscribe to them. DTS uses... Oh yeah, we were talking about DTS-C versus Dolby, I think, earlier. And yeah, apparently Dolby is more compressed, DTS is uncompressed, so that's kind of more like the lossless stuff. Cool. Random Nassar. iCave answers. Thanks for the answers, mate. Keep it up. Don't understand why people buy the SE iPhone when the 10Rs are selling for $200. My parents got them. Yeah. See, yeah, the SE. What are people thinking with that this year? A little bit more expensive. Yes, it's faster. Yes, it's got 5G. Is it a good deal? I can't say that it is. Right. Let's see what we've got over here. Dave Stevenson got, 2 Apple Studio displays to replace 3 4K Dell monitors. Very nice. A little bit more Yorkshire pudding action, like a German pancake. Okay, cool. And Vicious Dave, there's less inputs, only 2 USB-C and 2 Thunderbolt 3, which also uses USB-C, by the way. Yeah, I mean, it has got... Well, no, the iMac one didn't have inputs at all, so you couldn't really use it that way, I guess. Yorkshire pudding is pancake batter but roasted. Yes, exactly. Yep. So we've had a good conversation on Yorkshire puddings. That's excellent. Yeah, iPhone SE. Is everyone in agreement that it's kind of a bit needless now? Feel like we should have just resurrected the 10R and called it the SE3 instead. But there we go. iCave answers from Random Nassar again. Do you think Apple will kill off the iPad mini? Such a useless product in my opinion, and make the iPhone Pro Max like 7.2 to 7.6 inches. That would be my dream phone. No, there's no way they're killing off the iPad mini at this point. They've just rebuilt it from the ground up, complete new design and everything else, and I don't want a phone that's that much bigger. I've got to be honest. Thomas Rabenstein, I'm struggling right now to buy a new camera for videos. If I could use the coming iPhone instead to record videos, are there any leaks about the capabilities of the iPhone 14 camera? Well, put it this way, I don't think they're going to be any worse than the iPhone 13, and everything I've done on this channel up until this, basically, is filmed on an iPhone 12 Pro Max, so I think you'll be fine, depending on what you need to do, but, if you're making a Hollywood movie, maybe buy a proper camera. If you're not, if you're just, making some videos for anything less than that, the iPhone is a very good choice. David Stevenson, studio displays allowed me to retire my CalDigit dock, which wasn't very reliable. Oh, so you're using that as your hubs. I like it. Evan Rogers, the SE was made for the American and Indian carriers. Yeah, I mean, it's a great phone if you've got a sales force who all need to have a work phone, if they're out on the road all the time and you need to give people work phones. iPhone SE is like a no-brainer. I think it's a really good idea. But it's dull and it's not really a thing for consumers, I don't think. And I think maybe they need to move it more into being more of a business phone, so it's more accessible through business side of things rather than being consumer facing. Michael Moy, iPad 6 has great performance. Yeah, it will do. The A15 is great. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just surprised. I think it is a battery thing. Let me know if anyone disagrees with me on that. But I think that's the reason that's got an A15 and the iPad Air's got an M1. But I also think we must be getting new iPad Pros pretty soon if the iPad Air's got the same chip. Unless that's using a binned one, which I don't think I've seen anything about. But, yeah, could be. I saw T-Mizzle had it for the extra $30 down iPhone SE 3G. I'm guessing that's T-Mobile. Not so down with it. John Malkin, getting an iPad mini for note-taking to save desk space. I mean, I love my iPad Air for note-taking. It's amazing. Buy a proper camera if you need lenses, I suggest. Evan Rogers, participating in this stream, watching Tiger at the Masters. Is anyone excited about watching the Friday night baseball that's coming on Apple TV today? How far off is that now? Because it's like 10 p.m. here, 10:30 here, and I think is it 7 p.m. in the US? Probably on the which coast would they do their times from? I don't know. That confuses me when you say in America it's such and such time, but you've got 4 time zones. Very confusing. How far away is the Friday night baseball? Because I might watch it. I've never watched baseball before. Thomas Rubinstein, Photoshop, looked at the studio... Oh no. I say Photoshop, it just says PS. I looked at the studio display just yesterday. The 5K Retina display is excellent. I would buy it just for the resolution. No pixels to see. It's a great display. Yeah, it is. It's a really good display. But it is the same one that they've been selling since 2014, and they've only knocked off like a couple of hundred. It's 2:35 in California. Baseball makes me fall asleep. Slow Cuba is not cricket. Correct. Baseball starts in an hour on Apple TV from the time that we started. So it should be on like any minute, right? Okay. Cubs won't be on it for sure. They have their own channel. Is it being shown in the UK? I think it is. Let's have a look. Apple.com/news. MLB, here we go. Where is it going to be shown? Is it just the US and Canada? I'm going to be so annoyed. So the first game is Mets at the Washington Nationals, apparently. Starts in 55 minutes from right now. Cool. Let's have a look just on Apple TV. That'll probably tell me. Oh. Apple TV. TV.apple.com. Let's see. Baseball is slow. You can go to a game, eat, drink, chat, do business, etc. Lots of time in between the action. It does sound a lot like cricket. Let's see. Can we watch it over here? 11:25 p.m. it says. I guess we can. Let's just do this. We're not going to live stream it for you guys because, yeah. Baseball is cricket without with all the interesting bits taken out. Where did you find interesting bits in cricket to take out? That's going to be exciting. Cool. So yeah, we've got the Mets at the Nationals, and then there's Astros at the Angels. Is that Anaheim? I want to say Houston Astros, Anaheim Angels. Let me know if my baseball knowledge is okay. Also, the Washington Nationals, are they sponsored by Walgreens? Because that looks like their W. Let me know in the comments, because I don't know anything about baseball or American football. And yes, it's always going to be called American football because it's not real football, which I also don't care for. But yeah, let's see what we got. 1.5 hours on at 7 on the East Coast, 5:30 there now. Cool. Seen the Halo series yet? And when is Ted Lasso season 3? Halo series, what's that? Is that HBO, I guess? Something like that. I know this is the least Apple talk ever, but they are doing the baseball thing tonight, so that's just interesting. LA Angels. Oh, it's close. Anaheim's near LA, right? It's not far. Halo is on Paramount Plus, so that's where you get like Star Trek. and stuff as well, because we don't get that channel over here, or that network, or that streaming service, or whatever it is. Anaheim Ducks. No, Ducks is hockey, right? Mighty Ducks. We all know that. I've got my Mighty Ducks jersey upstairs still. But yeah, who's excited for Anaheim as part of the LA metro area? It's like an hour away. Oh, so I'm not far off at all. I'm doing okay. Sharon B is entered the chat with a super chat. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sharon. Yes, Star Trek is on Paramount. Yeah. See, I'm getting good at this. I know Anaheim is where the original Disneyland is. My dad's a Disney historian. That's what he does. But yeah. Yeah. Oh, I've just put some stuff in the way of the chat. That's awkward. Angels are based in Anaheim, but for some weird technical reason, they changed their name to Los Angeles Angels. But Anaheim is not in Los Angeles County. Anaheim is in Orange County. Yeah, it's weird because Orange County in California is where Disneyland is. And then there's Orange County in Florida as well, which surprised me, which I thought was good. Go Hawks. Where are the Hawks from? Let me see. Nope, don't know. Why have we got into sports talk? I didn't think Apple people would care about sports. I thought we were all geeks together. But let's have a quick look. John Prosper has just bought Ian Zelbo a studio display. That's arrived with him today, and he's very pleased. That is today's Apple news. So what do you guys think about my my John Prosser theory as well about the iPhone that he leaked? Do we think that maybe is the 15? Do we think we're just ahead of the game? Maybe with the watch coming as well this year? The primary agricultural product of both Orange counties is grapefruit. That is great irony. I'm very pleased with that. What is my next Apple purchase? That is a good question. They need to bring something out cheaper for me. Probably an M2 something. Hopefully a MacBook. If they bring out a vaguely reasonably priced MacBook, that would be what I would go for, I think. I would love it if they resurrected the MacBook name as an entry level and then made the Air slightly more expensive, because it sounds like the Air is going to get more expensive with the nicer displays and stuff anyway. Nothing geekier than sports stacks. I used to develop software for Opta for the collection of football, soccer stats, etc. Oh, that's very exciting. Like, I suppose that is pretty geeky. Yeah, you're right. And is there a more statisticky sport than baseball? I don't think there is. They should have just sponsored it with numbers. Apple Numbers should be the sponsor. That would be good. Thomas Rabenstein. This would be a new leaker high score, leaking the 15s before the 14 comes out. Yeah, I think so. And I think with the watch as well, I was talking about the Watch 7 that we got. Like, they just talked all day about it being more rugged. And then, and then everyone was like, oh, but we were expected to be flat-sided. And we've still got the rugged one to come. No, the rugged one, I think, is what the 7 is. I think they just had to switch to that one that was going to come 6 months down the line instead of using the flat-sided version. But that's just me. Here we go. Let's see. More likely than the headset if they come out with it this year. I mean, maybe. I think the headset is... I think we're going to see a development version of it. I think we're going to get the software for it, all that sort of stuff. But I don't think we're actually going to physically get it on sale before the end of the year. I saved you from the sound of it, but I did sneeze. Definitely think the flat iPhone 15 with the titanium is more likely. Telephoto for the win. Yeah, I think these phones are going to look pretty awesome. In my opinion, we should take any leak with a grain of salt. Yes, I agree. We should always take leaks with a grain of salt, but a lot of them do come true. John's clearly taken a bit of a step back now from leaking, which he's mentioned himself. doing a lot of new stuff behind the scenes, and I think it's interesting. It's like I like the idea of where things are coming from. John Malkin, yes, the Mini supports the 2 studio displays. Yeah, it would do their you can do a studio display or you can do a XDR as well, can't you? Mark, you don't get to hear a sneeze in the mic. If there's another one, maybe. You lucky boy. Fingers crossed I won't sneeze my face off anymore, though. But yeah, anyone got any more questions? I like doing these little live streams and having a chat. What are my thoughts on digital currencies and NFTs? Here we go, straight in. So, I think NFTs are interesting. I don't think many of the projects that we can see now are going to last for very long. The only one that there's like a handful, obviously things like CryptoPunks and Bored Ape Yacht Club and VFriends. And the reason that I think VFriends is doing well is because of the utility stuff that's built into it. Bored Apes, I think you kind of get access to use the image from them as well, so you can like make your own merch. If you own that NFT, then you can make merch with that character on it, which is quite cool. You can make your own TV shows with them and all that sort of stuff, which is a little bit different. With the VFriends stuff, every NFT that you can have gets you access to a physical conference for the next 3 years, or whoever owns it at the time gets access to the conference. And also they have other utilities built in. The gift goat, you get 6 gifts a year and stuff like that as well. So yeah, I think some of these that have made more of the fact that you can actually do stuff with it other than just being a picture and being a pure collectible, I think makes more sense. I do think that like event tickets are probably going to become NFTs, so that you can kind of sell your digital ticket stub to someone else that collects them. I think that's the thing. Like, people will buy a ticket from a Beatles concert, and I think it would work the same way. NH, did you see Rene's latest video? He hopes Apple will return to providing a Wi-Fi router, and he explains how Apple can do it differently. I haven't watched it yet, but I've talked about it in the past about why they don't use all of the Macs as kind of the basis of a mesh router system. I think we should also have things like the HomePods would make great hotspots, for bouncing the signal within your home. Apple TV, all of those kind of home hub things that stay still would be really cool. If they could use that to kind of build this mesh out. All the stuff that's plugged into the mains all the time, basically. Let's see what else we got. Any WWDC merchandise this year? We might do something. Whether we'll do everyone's emojis again, or if anyone's got any cooler ideas, I think that would be good. Yeah, I'd love to do another t-shirt because I enjoy it. Who's actually picked up one of the Cupertino ones? Because these, I was so proud of this design. This is mine, and I love this. But yeah, let's see what else we've got here. Do you think Apple may adapt as a Bluetooth option? Walter, just clarify that one for me, please, because I can't quite work out what you're asking me. Sorry. David Stevenson might have been wrong about the 2 studio displays. Spec one display with up to 6K at 60 Hz and one with up to 4K at 60 Hz via HDMI 2. Yeah, you could. That could be right, actually. Yeah, you can definitely do one studio on the Mac Minis. I would be surprised if you couldn't do 2, but I think it might be more of a limitation of HDMI rather than of the Mac Mini itself. I feel like a lot of leaks become true in the big picture, but the details might be wrong. Yeah, I would say that's true. Your choice for an off-brand 27-inch studio display, I think the closest you could get would probably be that ultrafine that LG do. It's still out there. It's still $300 cheaper, but you don't get the same kind of camera. You don't get as good speakers. There's a few compromises. It's not as pretty. That's kind of where it comes down to. Snowing here. Not where I am, I don't think. John, where are you? Dave Stevenson, so one studio display because the second has to be HDMI, yeah. Thomas Rabenstein, what's your opinion about the pattern I've noticed from a lot of tech YouTubers? 1, unboxing video. 2, first impression. 1 week later, 1 month later. Why you should not buy it, why I returned it. If people want to watch them, I don't mind. It's the same response from me as with the Apple Explained videos. If they're popular and people enjoy watching them, go for it. I wouldn't, like with this camera that we're using right now, I'm doing one video with it that will feature it. The rest of my stuff will be kind of, I'm using it at the minute, and I think the picture is actually really good. I keep looking at it and going, I'm really impressed with this. And it does keep track fairly well. But yeah, I'm not going to do like all of those videos. I might do another revisit one in 6 months if I keep using it, but yeah. If people want to make that much content out of one thing, it depends how much detail you want to put into one video. If you wanted to do one video with all of that stuff in it, that's fine too. But there's a lot of stuff with YouTube where you have to kind of capture the moment, if you like. So that's why I did an unboxing of the M1 MacBook Air the day that it came out. So yeah. Slow Cuba, really miss my Airport Extreme. Yeah, I've got one. I've got a time capsule. Is what I've got. I haven't had an Airport Extreme. It made a great time capsule hub. Yeah, I mean they would. You could plug plug extra storage into the back, couldn't you? I remember that one. John Malkin, I have a long sleeve. Oh, of last year's one? Oh, cool. We need more Cupertino colours. Evan, oh, what, for these shirts? We can add more colours, that's fine. I might do some similar stuff. You'll do a photo of you in iCaveDave merch. Oh, great. Yeah, tweet it at me, that'd be awesome. It's always nice. Evan Rogers, last year you did a 6-hour iCaveversary stream. 12 hours this year. Well, that is a long time to put up with me, and my voice is already going after like an hour. But yeah, we will do something. It may not be bang on the dates because I feel like I might be on holiday. But we'll come back to that, and it'll be in the middle of the Commonwealth Games and things as well. But yes, we will do a live stream again. I have already asked a couple of people. So yeah, there will be one. I do it well. That's why you like to watch my channel. What do I do well? I'm trying to... Oh, okay, the way that I do reviews. Cool. Sorry, trying to get the context back for the message from like 5 minutes ago. Jeff is asking, do you think that will bring Thunderbolt 5 with the Mac Pro? 80 gigabits a second would finally allow an eGPU to be a reality, or will it lack the drivers to kill this before it starts? I don't think you're ever going to have eGPUs that work with Apple Silicon. I'll be completely honest with you, and I think I've been on pretty much the same track all the way through. So yeah, I don't think you're going to get eGPUs. I don't at all. No. I think it would probably slow things down compared to what Apple Silicon will do internally, and that's the main thing. Yeah. So John is in Chicago, and that's where it's snowing. Interesting. Michael Moy, Renner did a video on why Apple should go back to making wireless routers. I'm using a 2010 Airport Extreme. Yeah, as I say, I think the HomePods should all be part of their little mesh network that helps boost it. But that's just me. Slow Cuba, picture on your new camera is good, but I can't set the quality on YouTube above 720p. Yeah, that's the thing with OBS. It tends to push out at that. However, we are upgrading. We've got a smart meter coming on Monday this week, but in a couple of weeks I've got an upgrade coming to my broadband. So we're going from about, I think it's about 15 that I get upstream at the minute, to like 75, which will be really nice, and downstream is being about doubled, maybe tripled. So that's going to be really cool. So we might be able to stream in higher quality as well, but I just like to keep it a little bit lower so that we're a little bit more stable as well. Mark Sequence, I come here for the accent, stay for the Apple news. Sometimes I get a bonus burn or that British dry humour. Well, I don't intentionally burn anyone, but it happens sometimes. Saruj asks, oh, slow down. It just came. Thunderbolt 4 just came out. Yes. Yeah, I think we're going to be seeing Mac Pro at WWDC because they basically teased it very, very recently. So I think we're going to see it, but I don't think it'll be available to buy until December. That would be my guess. Slowcuber is stream software is likely locked at 720. Got to pay to go up. No, because it's OBS. It's a completely free thing. I don't think you have to pay to go up, but I'm not sure. Thomas Rubenstein, it's almost midnight. It is almost midnight. It's 5 to, and I think we'll probably wrap this up at your midnight. It's 5 to 11 here. Rocket mode internet engage. Yes, 100%. Yeah, I'm really excited for the speed boost. I think that's going to be pretty good. Thunderbolt 5 might get announced this fall by Intel with the 13th gen refresh. Remember that Apple is also involved in developing Thunderbolt with Intel. I think they're still involved. I assume so. I don't think they've abandoned it, but that will be interesting to see as well. What actually happens, because Apple seems to be less mentioning Thunderbolt now. They seem to be more forward about the USB-C side of it and less forward about the Thunderbolt. But maybe that's just confirmation bias on my side. Quite possible. Oh, Sarouj? It's not Sarouj? Oh, sorry. Serouj. Seemed like it would be that. But yeah, I'm going to go and watch some baseball, I think. I'm quite interested in seeing what goes on with that. Back to work tomorrow. It's our wine week. So I actually had a whole day off today. It's been very exciting. Slowcuber, I'm hoping that they unveil a new SoC that supports more multiplicity of cores and ECC memory. Yeah, ECC memory is something that they might well put in the Mac Pro. That would make sense. Here we go. Is OLED as good as XDR? Zan. So, OLED is more precise. You will get less kind of ghosting around stuff. Oh, thank you, Evan. Thank you so much. So yeah, you will get less kind of blooming around stuff with OLED because the individual pixels are lighting up, whereas with Mini LED you've got a zoned backlight that's letting certain light through. So you will get a little bit of spill, if you like. However, OLED doesn't get as bright as XDR in most cases. XDR is like 1600 nits. Whereas when you are on OLED, they tend to be around about 500 or 600, I think, in most cases. There are certainly some brighter ones out there, but they also have issues with longevity, and those individual pixels lose brightness over time too, and not necessarily uniformly across the display. So that's kind of why the XDR, which is Apple's name for Mini LED, that's why Apple has put that balance point just there. Hopefully that makes sense. I think. Mark Sequence, would you get an M1 iMac now? Why or why not? Or recommend to get one? So as soon as it came out, I got my dad to get one. He got the purple ones, which is not the base model, because you couldn't get the purple in the base model. I think it's a great computer still. I don't think there's any reason that you wouldn't get it other than M2 is probably just around the corner, so I would probably hold off just for the sake of, if I wait a month, I can probably get one that's a bit quicker. But I don't think it's going to make enormous differences. And if you wanted it now, I think it makes sense to get. Sharon, thank you for the live chat. Thank you so much. Evan, I think I already thanked you for this super chat, but thank you so much. John Malkin, beer and peanuts with baseball. I'm not a peanut fan, but like a nice pale ale would be good. NH, take care. Have a good weekend. Thank you very much. We are going to wrap this up now, guys. Thank you so much all for being here. If you've got any questions for me for the start of next week, throw them down in the comment section at the bottom, and we'll get back to you in the next video. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you in the next one.